Good morning. Finally, from a very cloudy, foggy South Central Kentucky. Had an issue with going live, and so we are a bit late. I do want to continue with Julia Child or Julia Cameron again today. Julia Child must have food on the brain. This one's a two-pager, and I like the writing prompt that goes with it really well. In fact, I may try it myself. This one is called Who Me? Tonight I'm going to a dinner party, a Manhattan dinner party, black dress optional, but perhaps expected. As a child, I read Vogue magazine and plotted to live in New York. New York, I thought, was where all the grown ups live. I still think that. 12 years old, lying on the floor by the heating vent in the front hallway, underneath the curving banister that led upstairs. Supermodels were new phenomenon. Verushka, Lauren Hutton, photo spreads in Africa with Peter Beard, just Verushka and a stray lion, gazelle, hippopotamus. Nothing she wore could actually be worn, certainly not by a 12-year-old or even by the adult that 12-year-old might grow into. But it was fun to look. Verushka painted blue like some wild African tribesman. Verushka, sleek as a panther, inclining herself on some low-lying bough. I don't know how many New Yorkers grew up somewhere else dreaming of New York, but I did. I studied the layouts of Chanel suits and Dior. I learned hemlines and hairstyles, the colors of this year's acceptable nail lacquer and lipstick. I weighed tote bags and sunglasses, sandals and belts, the right accessories. New York meant much more than New York. It meant sophistication, taste, from accomplishment. It meant you had made it somehow creatively, that your life, a New Yorker's life, was chief among your creations. New Yorkers read The New Yorker and strolled through its pages with a William Hamilton cartoon. New Yorkers wrote The Village Voice and answered daring personal ads placed by daring city dwellers like themselves. New Yorkers were literate and stylish and up it to wear it. For an adult New Yorker, a dinner party like tonight's was a snap. Why, I'll wear my black suit and my spangled black cardigan with tiny jet beads. Although I have lived in New York often, I've never quite made it to a New Yorker. For the adult New York, oh, wait a minute, skipped a line. Dinner parties like tonight's at the home of a chic gourmet editor leave me wondering, the black suit or the navy blue? Clearly, an evening out or a continuation of a busy day's look. New Yorkers themselves strike me mute. They have country houses and manage to juggle rents and mortgages with a sleight of hand that leaves me feeling uneasy. Of course, the magazines are still full of advice on how to manage it. New York is still the epicenter of the magazine publishing world, and try as they may to include Des Moines' readership in their far-flung net, it is still New York and New Yorkers that we read about. Managing to swing that country house is not a topic that a Des Moines reader needs to bone up on, but I still do. Curled in my reading chair, looking out at my New York view, I still read articles on how to be chic, New York style, with the same baffled, avidly, av- avid, avidity I did as a precocious child. Tonight's dinner party will feature live and in the flesh New York writers. I am one of them now. So, the writing prompt. Who me? Try this. Each of us has a different idea of sophistication. Each of us has certain items that speak to us as tokens of success. Sometimes, in all our striving, we overlook treating ourselves symbolically in ways that match our accomplishments. Take your pen in hand, on a piece of paper, number from 1 to 25. I'll put this part in the comments before I close out. List 25 things that represent to you sophistication and success. For example, and here are 5 that she gives us: red nail polish, a good writing implement, handsome business cards, enough socks, leather gloves. After you've got your 25, scan your list over and select a symbolic something by which you can celebrate soigner adulthood. Successful adulthood. Successful adulthood, that's you. That's something to really think about. I don't think we'll do her next one, at least not tomorrow. I have another idea for tomorrow. So, what makes you successful? And how does it reflect in you, on you, as a symbol? For Julia Cameron, it was being a New Yorker. And she still doesn't think she's reached that part. And yet, she's with a group of New York writers, of which she is one. For writers, New York City is the all because that's where the big 5 are. They keep dwindling down. There used to be 7 of them. Then there were 6. and now there are 5. Those are the big publishing houses. And yes, my friends, they rest in New York City. Do you want to be a part of them? That is your choice. Know that it is not easy as an unknown author to break into the big 5. It is not always in your best interest to break into the big 5. Sometimes a small press is better. And there are some really good small presses out there. Don't let anybody pull the wool over your eyes. However, if they are asking you to pay and then taking part of your royalties, they are a vanity press. With a vanity press, you will not get the recognition you need. You will not make the money you could. None of the big 5 anymore go out and set up a publishing tour for their authors. It's not economical anymore. You want a publishing tour? Create one. Start with independent bookstores and libraries and plot yourself a course. Hop in your car and take off. See the sights along the way. I have driven to Florida for a book signing in which at that time I had a publishing company and I was representing one of my authors who lived in the area but had ended up in a nursing home and was unable to attend. Sold her books. Discussion. The discussion with people was amazing. And some guy was looking for someone to write his stories. I don't ghostwrite. And ghostwriting would cost him, if I were to do it, $9,000. He would have to pay me $3,000 up front. $3,000 when the first chapter was done and edited, and he'd approved it. And $3,000 when the final work was done and edited, and he approved it. He was not a man who could just rip off $3,000 at a pop. And I knew this. I told him he needed to find someone who could write it for him. Write it with him and share in the excuse me, in the profits when he was done. So with that, I'll take any questions you have while I type in your directions for your prompt. No questions, really? I hope all your writing is going well because tomorrow's is going to be a zinger. No questions, no comments. Kind of feel like I'm talking to air this morning. I know it was a later start than I wanted. There you go. Soigné is well dressed, well represented. Um, if you are soigné, you are the cat's pajamas. You do that. I'm going to bid you happy writing. I know this was a shortened one, and I will see you tomorrow at 10. Have a wonderful day.